I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Today, we're going to be talking to my really good friend, Ransom Pugh. He is an actor, he's a personal trainer, and he has a YouTube channel called Muscle Magicka. And his character, did I say it right? Muscle and Magicka.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I have known Ransom for several years now, and he is an excellent human being. So today,
Get out of
I'm really
here.
excited about talking with Ransom and sharing his story with you guys and his creative journey, and I think it will be really inspiring to you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ransom.
'Twas a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm so excited that we got this started after a good bit of trying to figure out our technology.
Yeah, and me constantly heating up my coffee.
Yeah.
I'll do it again, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, what? What are you drinking?
So this is just what is it? Some French vanilla coffee. I always put like calorie-free syrup in there and some creamer, some low-fat creamer.
That's great. Yeah, let's get started with that. So
Okay.
A lot of people like to drink morning coffee. So you found a way to make it enjoyable but low calorie.
Yes, and the thing that I really love about coffee is so especially if I don't want to go into too much of a thing, but if I'm trying to be, low calories, so if I'm trying to lose weight or if I just don't have very many calories to play with, I find coffee and caffeine in general, but especially coffee, especially helpful in blunting appetite. So I'll strategically place some coffees like throughout the morning. I'll try and push them back. Like I'll drink water, then I'll drink coffee. And then, I don't know, that helps keep me not thinking about food until it's time for me to eat.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make you jittery and all that stuff?
It doesn't for me. And, different people are different, but I think my body over time has become used to, because I don't eat till much later in the day. So my body has become accustomed to water, then a couple coffees, maybe 2 or 3. And then, if it's before I really want to eat and I'm starting to get hungry, I'll have an apple or something. And that allows me to sometimes push my first meal back until, I don't know, as late as anywhere from 3 or 4 to even like 6 or 7 o'clock. And basically what that does, and I'm not going to, it's called intermittent fasting, and I won't go on a whole spiel, but basically what that does is it allows you to eat all of your meals within a much shorter window. And you can eat, the same amount of calories, but you can eat them within a much shorter window. So you feel a lot fuller on much less calories. You feel like you're eating these big meals, 2 or 3 big meals. Whereas if you were to eat them spread out throughout the day, it wouldn't feel like quite as much.
I didn't know all that. Thanks for sharing. We're going to go into that a little bit later. But so on your YouTube channel, you have a very unique spin on staying healthy,
right?
combined with your love for video games, which is super unique. But I wanted to talk about your introduction video where you share some pretty heavy stuff about your own personal journey.
Yes.
On getting healthy. So I was wondering if you could share that a little bit of your story with us.
Sure. Okay. So, okay, let's rewind. When I graduated college, I was actually getting ready to go into the Air Force, believe it or not. I figured as an actor, that would be good life experience. That would give me a little bit of a nest egg, a little bit of money. However, I found, this was the beginning of, graduated 2010. This was the beginning of 2011. It was actually a few days before my birthday. I was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. So that changed a lot of things, obviously. Just so you know, Hodgkin's lymphoma is sort of they say it's like the good cancer, like the best kind of cancer you can have if you're going to have cancer. So it was never, at least for me, I'm sure for my parents it was a different story, but for me it was never a matter of life and death. I never was afraid that the cancer was going to kill me per se. For me it was more a matter of how am I supposed to work out if I've got chemo at, every 2 weeks but anyway, so I did the chemotherapy for 6 months, never had to do radiation. And it's been clear ever since. However, it put me in a place where it also changed a lot about the way that I approached training and nutrition, partly because, the gym became a whole different thing to me when I had cancer. Before, it was something that I did on and off. Growing up, I was always overweight, so I was in and out of the gym. I would gain a whole bunch of weight, and then I would lose it, but then I would gain it back. And by the time I got done with chemotherapy, I was pretty heavy because I'm somebody who will stress eat and I'll comfort eat, right? So it put me in a place where I was sick of trying to apply all of the information that I heard, on the media and in the magazines, and all of the typical standard approaches just weren't really working for me. At the time, I was eating all clean. I was doing like the clean eating thing, and I was eating broccoli and chicken and brown rice and olive oil and a bunch of other boring foods.
Boring.
Boring. Yeah, like not sustainable. Okay. And I was seeing, I wasn't seeing any progress at the time. In fact, I was just gaining more weight because, they tell you that if you eat clean, if you just eat clean, that's all there is to it. But I found that I was still gaining weight no matter how clean that I ate. So that led me on sort of a new journey and a new passion, which has become something that I'm all about right now, of researching what's actually effective and what the actual truth is when it comes to nutrition and weight loss and body composition and all of that stuff. And there's a whole lot of misinformation that gets spread around out there. And part of that is the media, and part of that is supplement companies that are trying to sell you stuff. And part of that is just poor science that's been done in the past that gets picked up by the media and so on and so forth. But anyway, to sort of condense it all into a manageable little piece, I found that, how do I say this without like going into a long thing? I found that what's important when it comes to weight loss is calories in versus calories out and energy balance. And there's a lot more to it. So that's not everything, but basically what I found is that there is a way to keep track of my progress, and the way that I like to put it on my channel is I found my experience bar. Okay. It's almost as if I had been playing a video game without any experience bar, without any, for you gamers will understand, without any sort of feedback. Imagine if you play Skyrim or anything, imagine that you hit the console command and your interface just went away, and you're just playing and you're trying to fight stuff and you're trying to do things, but you have no way of knowing how many points you gain every time you kill somebody. You have no way of knowing when you're going to level up. And that's a terrible way to play a game. If I ever had a game like that, I would demand a refund. So I came to find my experience bar, and that's sort of what led to the idea of Muscle and Magicka, which is where I make informative, hopefully educational, hopefully entertaining videos regarding fitness and nutrition. But I put sort of a video game spin on it, and the sort of excuse me, I sort of use RPG analogies and things like that to sort of keep it entertaining and explain my approach to fitness and nutrition.
I think that's so unique. And really quick, what is the RPG?
Sorry, role-playing game. So
Okay.
think like Swords and Dragons rather than shooters or
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the old Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Basically, an RPG is a game where you have a character and you. This is in keeping with like the channel. You level him up, right? An FPS, you're shooting and you get new guns and you get new skins and stuff, and you may level up. But an RPG, you get to control your specific abilities and traits, and you pick certain talent, skill lines, and stuff like that.
Okay, that's so unique because honestly, I've never seen anything on YouTube like that. And you guys, I'm gonna put the link for Ransom's channel down below, and he provides a lot of great information about health and wellness, but it's done in a really fun way. So I think it's actually digestible, pun intended.